The box office #1 is Sex and the City, and this from John Thacker.
Blimey,
Dear Simon and Mark,
that's a reason to, you know...
My girlfriend Vicky went to see Sex and the City this Monday. She said that it was one of the best films she'd ever seen, and she'll definitely be going to see it again, and that she laughed and cried throughout. For some reason, I was a bit disappointed with the predictability of this, and decided to tell her that not only did Andrew Collins bang on about it last week...
Did he didn't like it?
Don't know. But also that Mark slated it on the Culture Show. It turns out that I shouldn't have said these things to her. She went ballistic at me, saying that for the first time, Hollywood has made a film about 40-plus-year-old women, and that all people like Mark can do is slate it and criticise it. She said that the reviews are sexist, that Mark needs to see Sex and the City film as entertainment rather than approaching it as a piece of cinematic art. I told her that I doubt it was the first time a film would be made from the point of view of older women, but that just stirred the already blazing fire that was my girlfriend's anger. So I ask you, Mark, whether you can defend yourself from these attacks, particularly the sexist reviewer media one, and whether you suggest that there is another better film about 40-plus-year-old women.
Well, I mean, in terms of the, you know, films about 40-plus-year-old women, look at Hollywood before we got to the 1950s, and what used to be referred to as the woman's... No, sorry.
We have to go back to 1940s.
No, we don't. I'm just saying there is this whole...
before the 50s.
No, hang on. This whole idea that actually, you know, films about women of, you know, up until the age of 20. You know, there's that gag in which movie is it? Is it The First Wives Club when Goldie Hawn says, you know, in movies there are there are 3 ages of women. I think it's Goldie Hawn. I may be misquoting. She said, and actually The First Wives Club is a very good indication of a movie which is about people over the age of 40, which is perfectly decent. And she said,
Can
3
you be
ages
brief,
of women.
because there's a race in a minute.
Okay, fine. She said, you know, it's secretary, mistress, and driving Miss Daisy. That's what it is.
Are you being sexist?
No, I would like to think that I'm absolutely, you know, because I think on my past record there have been many times in which I have been absolutely infuriated by what I perceive as the misogyny and sexism of modern movies. The problem with Sex and the City is not that it's a woman's picture. The problem with Sex and the City is when you compare it to everything else, it's not that it's to do with women, it's that it is a consumerist piece of TV bilge that is badly constructed and badly put together. First Wives Club, I think, is an excellent indication of what this area of cinema actually ought to be about. I mean, the problem with Sex and the City, except that it's baggy, it's way too long, it's ill-disciplined, it's woodenly directed, it's morally bankrupt and vacuous. It is a film which spends its entire running time shoving handbags down your throat and then has the gall to say at the end, you know what, there's more to life than handbags. I mean, that's the same moral duplicity that Cecil B. DeMille used to give you 2 hours of filth and destruction with God turning up at the end and saying, oh, you know, listen, I mean, that is not a woman's picture. John? That is a handbag picture. I beg your pardon.
John, I hope that's enough ammunition for you in your continuing argument.
You know,
with
Mrs. Miniver.
Vicky.
I'm sorry.
That's enough. 11 minutes to 4.
Now Voyager.
There's some
for
travel.
heaven's sake.